make out of that? Now, we live in a world today that is driven by a lot of competition, social media, high performance targets. The pressure to succeed today has never been this greater. But how do we balance ambition with well-being? How do we do that? And what does success really mean today? Joining me are a business consultant. His name is Sebastian Apia. He is over the phone lines, and also a mental health advocate, Stanislaus Anyaku. Stanislaus Nyaku. Nyaku. I hope I got that right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, all right. And these are the two individuals helping me have this conversation this morning. We're going to unpack the pressures, the impact on our mental health, and practical ways to stay grounded while pursuing success. Gentlemen, good morning. Let me start from Sebastian over the phone line. Sebastian, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Nee. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, nice
I'm
to
well. And you?
Yeah, nice to hear from you too. I'm doing well too, by God's grace. It's been a long time we spoke.
Yeah, it's been a very long time.
You may have to raise your voice a bit for me. Yeah, but Stan is also here. Stan, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. By the grace of God, we're fine. We are kicking, and the pressure is alive, but we're also thriving. So,
right. Okay. So we're talking about the pressure to succeed. I mean, dealing with expectations in business and also society. Let's start from here. How do each of you personally define success in today's world? Has your definition changed over time? I mean, those are the questions I'm asking. So let me start with you in studio, Stan, and then I go to Sebastian over the phone lines.
okay. So, before I arrive or come to my definition of success, I just want to run us through, if it's possible, just run us through what success has meant from time past. Okay.
Sure.
So, from a little digging I did, mid 20th century, people saw success to be having a family, having a stable home, and being able to manage. So if you're able to manage your home, have your kids, then you are successful. Then over time, getting towards the end of the 20th century, people began to see success as, that's where the career thing came in. Thriving in your career path, having the money and all those things. Yeah, that is what it came to mean. That's what success came to mean in getting to the end. So it means that even in the beginning of things, we are seeing a trend from managing your home to now flourish and having the money and the funds. Then towards the 21st century, other variables have entered it. So I was following up on some definitions of success, and somebody says success is having a place you call home. So if you're able to do everything in life and go home and have some safety and peace of mind, then
That's success.
you're successful. Yeah. Then the Gen Zs as well have also said, well, success should include something that gives us some comfort. So we should be thriving in our mental health. That should be included in the definition of success. So when you're working and you don't have a peace of mind, they don't see it as being successful.
I see.
So so generations have had their own definitions of success. So that brings me to my definition of
your
success.
definition.
So I would say success, simply put, is maximizing competence to meet a need. In other words,
Explain.
everybody has something they are good at. We've all gone to school and we've learned skills and all those things. So to me, to be successful means to put everything you have to the society, give it to the society, help the society thrive, help the society cope, help the society grow.
Right.
So if you're able to use your competence to meet a need in society, then you can call yourself successful. Then you can say you have succeeded in something. Yes.
But
So
has it changed over time? Is this something that was, I mean, that is how you've always lived your life, or over time it's changed? You know how we're growing up and you want to do ABC, you want to do that. Has it changed for you?
Yeah, I think it has changed because when I was younger, I used to see. I was
You're not
high.
old.
All right, that is when I was relatively younger. When I
Right.
was in JHS, thereabouts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought I wanted to be a footballer. I wanted to be a successful footballer, earn some dollars and pounds and stuff like that. Yeah, Neymar Jr. was my role model, so I wanted to play like Neymar one day. And then all the flashy things that came with Neymar was my definition of being successful. Yeah, but now putting everything together and then growing a bit, I realized that it's not all about a flashy lifestyle.
Right.
It comes down to just impacting lives. So to me, success is just using what I have currently to touch as many lives as I can. So if I'm able to touch as many lives, that would be success for me.
I'm tempted to dig deeper. What exactly for that? At what point did you say that, hey, now success doesn't mean all the things Nima has anymore? It means just giving back to society.
Right. So a number of variables. So I'll just start with my grounding. I'm a Christian. I'm a Catholic, right? So when we continue to reflect, on the word of God, of course, Ecclesiastes tells us that vanity upon vanity, all is vanity, right? So that opens your eye to the reality of life, tells you that, you know what, it's not everything. You can have everything and not have peace. And there are people in this world like that currently. So let's just look at what is important. What is important is what gives everybody peace. If I use my competence to help somebody currently in the mental health field, if I'm able to see somebody who is struggling a lot, and I'm able to say, you know what, do A, B, and C, and the person is able to come out of it, it gives me peace because the person has peace now.
Right.
So over time, I've realized that I am getting more satisfaction and peace in seeing other people thrive as well. So that is ultimately my success, because the material possessions eventually go away, and then you are left with a certain void and quiet. After all, when all is said and done, we all go back to our rooms and we sleep.
That's true.
So the only thing that you can hold on to is the fulfillment that others are getting because of you. So
Because of you.
yeah, so that is my ultimate definition of success.
I see. There's a particular trend I see amongst young people today. And anyway, we'll talk about that. And let me save that for later. But let me come to you, Sebastian. Sebastian, are you still with us? Hello, Sebastian.
Hello, yes, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, so tell us what your definition of success is and whether it has changed over time.
Oh, okay. I think my brother Stan has done a lot. He said a lot. So I think we have to go back. Growing up, we all saw success to be money. And then we also saw success to be luxury. And we are coming from some of the background we are coming from. Um, I'm not coming from a luxurious background. I'm not coming from a rich background.
Yeah.
So if I'm measured based on some of these things I've already mentioned, then I will see myself to be less of a success. But over time, as we kept on growing and we kept on setting visions and goals for ourselves, I realized that my definition of success has really changed. To me, I don't really see success to be the money that you have or the big car that you drive, although some of these things count. But I actually see success to be you having a vision, you having a goal, you having a desire, something you've set for yourself. When you are able to achieve it, I see that to be success. For example, I've started a year, maybe 2025. I've set specific goals, plans that I want to achieve. Maybe it can be in the area of my career, it can be in the area of my education, it can be in the area of whatever that matters to me.
Right.
The moment I am able to achieve the things I've planned, the things I've set for myself, goals I've set for myself, I consider that to be success.
To be
So
success.
that is my personal definition of success, and it is something that I've carried with me for a very long time, and it has helped me. In fact, relevant to the discussion we are having about pressure, because if you have this kind of definition, I don't think that you are going to be victimized by the pressure that people mount on you. So let's start from there. So that would be my definition
Your
of
definition.
success.
Right. But in Ghana and let's say Africa even more broadly, how do cultural and societal expectations shape what people perceive as success? And let me start with you, Stan.
Okay, so in Africa, so um, the analogy of marriages. Okay, so in Africa, so if a young lady is going to get wedded, the first question the parents would ask is, who are you getting married to? What does he do? Right. So, what does he do means that he has to have something that is running, something sustainable. And so, if you meet somebody who is a church mate, you may be insulted, or if care is not taken, you may be chased out of the house because this is not what we are going to entertain. But if you meet someone who is a banker, someone who is maybe thriving in business and their accounts are full and stuff, then they can say, yeah, this is somebody we want you to be engaged to or something like that. So they look at wealth, of course, they look at sustainability, they look at what they can get from the union you are entering. So the monetary aspect is very key in the definition, especially the African definition of success, and influence as well. Who is this person in society? How influential is he? So these are some of the markers that would push the notion of success in the African context and globally as well to some extent. So the money factor has not left the system entirely.
Right.
It is still a great marker when it comes to success.
I see. Sebastian, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, so I think my brother Stan has touched it all. Uh, Currently, this is the trend. I'll call it the packaging of the whole idea of success. How the person looks, how the person dresses, the car the person ride, the house the person has been able to build, the status, the social standing. So um, I asked myself a question. So what if, okay, what if, like the example that he gave, a woman wants to get married and then meets a young man who is from a very okay. So these are the indicators you are using to measure success. Probably maybe the house, probably maybe the car he drives, probably maybe even the work that this person is doing. But the person we are actually talking about, the personality, in terms of his character, you realize this person has not been able to personally achieve anything that he has set himself, except the ones that probably because of the background or the family he's coming from, they've been able to push him into. You find yourself wanting because life that we see it's like that. There are struggles along the way,
True.
and of course, if the person now begins face the music of struggle, and the person has no one available. The person has the support systems are not in place for such a person. You realize that no matter the level or the milestone you perceive, this person has been able to achieve.
Yeah.
Cripple down and come down. At the end of this, lady will realize that, oh, I made a mistake. In fact, we are not talking about this, but this is also a part of some of the divorce cases we face. So it has changed. But like my brother said, I think people are beginning to see the bigger picture now. People are beginning to see that, of course, success is not just the material, but the material
Are you
plays a key
sure?
role. Because, for example,
Sebastian, are you sure? Are you sure people are beginning
yes,
to see that?
yeah.
Sebastian,
Come again.
I'm asking that. Are you sure people are beginning to see
Yes.
that it's not about material? These days that everybody is talking about soft life and
I
things.
think no. I think people are few engagements that I've had. Of course, well, we the guys we are seeing that. Maybe probably the ladies are not seeing that. That would be a different discussion for another day. But I
Right.
think compared to how we used to picture the whole thing about the whole subject about success, I believe currently people are beginning to see more to it than the material. However, there has to be clear things you can use to measure your success. So as a young person, at least, let me talk about what I call the dimensions of success. As a young person, you should be able to look at success, personal success, That is when you, as a young person, you are fulfilling your personal dreams, your purpose, your vision in life. And of course, you also need the financial success. We, as young people, we also need to set clear financial goals for ourselves and ensure that we achieve it. So the language, in fact, the whole message for communication of success is that you have a purpose, you have a goal, you have something you set ahead of you, and you are achieving it one after the other, one after the other. I believe that the more you achieve all the plans, the dreams, the vision, the goals you set for yourself, the money will come. I mean, with the good work you are doing, and you are a great, you are excellent in what you do, and with the good work that you are doing, getting a lot of money or amassing so much wealth is it's inevitable. You are going to just step and walk right into it because of how you specific career goals for yourself and you are achieving it. So money will just follow after it. You
Right.
see. So that is what we should know. That is where we should base our whole subject and concept perspective on success.
I see. So you think that, I mean, money is a byproduct in all of that, isn't it? All right. Anyway, so hold on for
Yes, I
me.
believe.
Hold on for me. If you just tune in, this is Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM with me, Nitrebi Hammond. And this morning I'm talking to two gentlemen. Stanislaus Nyaku is a mental health advocate, and Sebastian is a business consultant. And we're having a conversation today on the pressure to succeed. And we've said a lot of things so far, but we are just getting started, really. So you can join the conversation. Send me a WhatsApp on 0544321019, 0544321019, or you can call me on 030395661, 030395661, and then I give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with us this morning. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and also on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please do auto engage our posts, and then I'll read your comments for you. All right, let's continue the conversation, and I'll come back to you, Sebastian, before I come in studio. Uh, Social media has also created some things in there. You know, social media often sets the standards these days: the cars, the houses. You see all the big things people are doing. Sometimes even from your colleagues who are also excelling in life. How do you think social media has influenced our idea of success, Sebastian?
Well, I think social media, in fact, like you rightly said, social media has really influenced our idea of success because now you go on TikTok and, people are always showcasing results. And in fact, we have great people we look up to, business moguls who are making so much impact here in Ghana, in Africa, and around the world. And we look at their current results, but none of us were able to peek into how they began and what they are doing and the things they did to get to where they've got into. But because we see, let me use an example. When we see, despite showcasing with the good work that he is doing,
Yeah.
he is a very successful man. But then you don't know the processes that went into it, the sacrifices, the tears. Do you understand? The inconvenience he subjected himself or even his family to in order to get to where he has gotten to. But then, because we are looking at his results, we also want to, in a way, emulate the results that these great people, great speakers, great leaders are showcasing. And by so doing, when we buy maybe a car, some people go and borrow the vehicles of other people just to prove to
Yeah.
people media space that they are there.
Yeah. True.
People go and get cars, vehicles from their friends. People have to rent a car just to show that I'm also there. People lie about exactly who they are. Do you understand? We will
There's
call it
actually
branding,
there's
but
actually
that is what is happening. And because of that, it is
okay.
influencing those of us who are coming, or even those below us who are trying to come to the marketplace.
Mm.
They are also looking at what others are doing and is influencing, even in the business sector. You see, when you are even choosing a place to even conduct your business,
Mm.
you look at someone who has arrived, maybe your business structures, per your capacity. Maybe what you need is probably maybe a small office space. Maybe per your capacity, what you need is to even work remotely in terms of the way your business is.
Mm.
You go and take loan, get a very big office, and it becomes a liability instead of becoming an asset
All right.
to the business. And it is happening on social media.
Mm.
And in fact, it's my advice is that we look at what people are really doing. We shouldn't look at their results. Anytime you see that someone showcasing their results, ask yourself that what what were the inconveniences and the sacrifices that went into it for
Mm.
this person to get where they've gotten to.
Right. Right. Stan, I know you'd want to add something, but Sebastian, maybe if you can go off video for us. I think the network is a bit hazy, so if you can go off video, maybe we can get it clearer going forward. But you want to add something, Stan?
Yeah, so on the issue of social media influence, yeah, we know that's the trend in the 21st century, and it is leading a lot of people astray. Like my brother said, there is this issue of people having scars that they don't show. So it's the results that is talking for them, and the scars are normally hidden. So I think that's what my brother was saying too. Another side of the social media narrative is that in psychology, something we call social comparison. So there's a theory actually called social comparison theory, where it posits that people tend to compare themselves to other people,
Okay.
where they are doing better than them. That's a downward comparison, and where the person is doing better is an upward. So people are trying to level up at all cost. And what it does to you is that in a situation like he said, you need to work remotely, but you are going big because you've seen a colleague gone big. Maybe the person's job demands that he goes big. Yours does not ask that you go big. And another thing is that people are chasing views. They are chasing views. So on social media, people feel like the number of followers you have makes you relevant, makes you successful. So they are chasing the views and they are not putting reasonable content out there. Yeah. So that is also another challenge that social media has brought into the game. So everybody's trying to fast track things. We want to get all the views. You want to get a following. You want to get the media traffic. And in the end, we don't deliver. They are not delivering anything reasonable. When you go to X currently, the people who are trending on X are mostly people who are either going very profane or they are going nude, because that is where their attention is now. So you may have you may be a well-resourced young person who has gone to school and learned a lot of things. You can put those content out
but
there.
They won't sell.
Exactly, it won't sell. So you'd want to join the masses and do what they do to get the traffic. And so social media has also complicated things and has piled more pressure on people, especially those who want to start businesses. So I think I was having a conversation with a friend who was saying that there are some people who are not genuine football fans, but because they know that football items trend a lot on Twitter, the women are now forcing themselves to be football lovers. They post something just for the traffic, and then they go back to post whatever they want to post after they have gotten the audience they are looking for. So the social media struggle is quite real, and it is derailing purpose. Yeah, it is derailing purpose a lot, because had we maximize social media, as in all of us included, not the toxicity out there where people are attracted to a certain specific content, if we're all giving ourselves that push to put forward our initiatives, put forward our agenda out there, and everybody is supporting, I don't think that toxicity there will be too much, where it will be geared towards the nude stuff and then the profane stuff. Yeah. So I feel like the media traffic is also
there's so much pressure.
Yeah, so much pressure. Yeah.
And I was going to ask about the purpose thing, because Sebastian was trying to say that a lot of more people are now being focused on purpose than even than status, really. but I wanted to know whether it's the same for you. Do you think so? Because I from where I sit, I see a lot more people go into status. They want to put out their own flashy things. I mean, with somebody going to get Lamborghini from somebody he doesn't know and all of that. You know, that's on the lighter lighter note. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's it.
I think I side with you more on this one because I feel like, of course, the pressure from social media is pushing the narrative towards that end. I see my colleague with euros. I also want to get the euros.
Yeah.
What's the quickest way to get euros? The last time we were here, we talked about gambling addiction, betting. Betting is a quick way to get euros. So let me go gamble. I may get some $150,000. I think that's what the price is of the
Yeah.
market. So somebody can get that money quickly through betting. And then I get it, I put it out there, social media, Snapchat, X. They know that I have leveled up. Yeah, that's success for me. So yeah, I think the pressure is also pushing us to put purpose aside and fast track things. So I think social media pressures is also killing purpose. It's derailing purpose a lot because the more we notice that okay, we can catch up with our brothers and sisters, the more we see that there's a quicker way to do things, the more we downplay that which Sebastian said to be his definition of success, having initiatives and following up to the latter. If you know that they are quick corners, you just cut them and then whatever it is you have, that may bring you even better returns in the future. You throw it away,
Right.
and that way you don't gain any competence in that place. So social media is pushing a narrative where we are putting ourselves in the backdrop and are trying to catch up with what society is giving to us, and that is not something that is
affecting a lot of the
productive.
young
It's not sustainable, and then it would kill. It will kill. It kills purpose. It kills
Right.
purpose. Yeah.
Because I see a lot of young people these days are only interested in the the things that we see, you know, and they are doing all kinds of things to get them. And you mentioned gambling as one of them. People are going to fraud just so that they can live a particular kind of life. I see young people 17 years, 16 years want to drive their own car and all of that. So there's a lot of expectations. And it's not different from the business world. And you mentioned that briefly, but let me come to Sebastian. He's a business consultant. Sebastian, you are a business consultant, and so you should be able to speak to this a bit more. What are some of the pressures that business people, entrepreneurs, and even startups often face, or what do they face the most currently?
Okay, thank you. So I'll comment on something Stan said, and then I'll use it to speak on this one.
All right.
I believe that although there is a lot of pressure on social media and the rest, we shouldn't just also look at the negative consequences or the negative effects of the pressure that is coming, because truth is, if you don't see what someone is doing, or if you don't see how someone is moving, you may feel so comfortable in your own space. And success, comfortable people cannot be successful. If you are a man or a woman who is always, you feel comfortable, we don't succeed on convenience. So there is the positive aspects pressure, because when you see that people are doing well, although some people are faking it, but I don't know, but there is this pressure, there is this drive. Now, although you are a purpose driven person, but you make sure that your purpose is marketable in the marketplace, especially as a so, we those of us in business, some of the pressures that come, seeing that people are showcasing maybe their new building, someone is showing you that they are increasing their market share and all those things. I believe one of the things it does to business people is that it makes you think about quality and excellence. To me, and then to the few that I've interacted with. Because sometimes someone will come to you, mostly I do a lot of marketing consulting, and someone will come to you and say that, I don't know, but my brand visibility is low. I'm having problems with this. I'm having challenges with this. I saw this company doing this and that. So you realize that see a different company or a different organization doing something he or she is not doing has brought this particular person on the toes to make sure that they do better. So there is the positive aspect of the pressure as I'm speaking,
Right.
because when you don't see people thriving, I don't think you would also be forced, pushed, or even motivated or inspired enough to also do something person. And then
Mm.
two, you want to also uh, gain competitive edge as a business or even as a startup. I think the pressure is important. So I believe that pressure influences the competitiveness in the marketplace to a business person. Because if you don't see others thriving, if you don't see others doing well, you will not do well. If you don't see others the showcase quality standards in terms of their products and their services, I don't think you will do same because you think that one boss in the space you find yourself in. So that is a positive aspect. I believe that uh, the pressure from other organizations and other institutions brings to you as a business person. Of course, the negative aspect is that you may look down on yourself, you may look down on your business. So there are some people, you know that they have a very good business idea, they've started somewhere and they are doing well because they are comparing with other organizations, because they are seeing someone showcase whatever they're doing, they tend to now look down on their products, they tend to now see whatever they are doing as a business to be inferior. The moment that happens, then you are going to find yourself wanting. Because the
Wanting.
moment you
Right.
start looking down on yourself, you're on your way to failure, disappointment, and defeat. So these are some areas we should be able to look at.
I
All right,
see.
thank you.
Right. Okay, Stan, let me come to you now. Of course, corporate leaders face targets, they have to meet certain targets. You can talk about investors. I mean, they also face some pressure and all of that. How does all of this forward burnout? And I'm asking that because you are into psychology and all of that.
Yeah. So burnout is the depression in the workplace. So clinically, if you are not in the workplace, you'll be gearing towards depression in a normal setting. But when you are in the workplace, your depression, sort of your first line of depression will be burnout. Now, how does this all come in? How does this come in? So we know that, like he said, pressure is not always bad. Pressure can be good. The same way stress, which is acute, can be good. So when you have acute stress, your brain would produce cortisol. Your body produces cortisol. Cortisol is the body's defense against stress. Now, cortisol keeps you sharp, keeps you on edge. So you're able to do one or two things. It keeps you alert. But when you enter chronic stress, cortisol stays in your body longer than it should. And the more cortisol stays in your body, there are other things it does to you. So in the brain, cortisol is staying longer than it should. The part of the brain responsible for memory, that's the hippocampus. It has receptors called neurocorticoid receptors. These receptors begin to they begin to attract themselves to the cortisol and damages the receptors in the hippocampus. So you realize that hippocampus, which is responsible for memory, is having some impairment because of the excess cortisol in your system.
Right.
Because of that, the person is not able to process things well. In the prefrontal cortex, which is the area of your brain responsible for executive functions like planning, decision making, problem solving, and all those things, there is also an impairment because of the reaction with the excess cortisol and then the other neurotransmitters in the prefrontal cortex. So you are down again because you are now impaired from the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for your overall function. It's just like the CPU of your body. So if that place is impaired, then we are moving down to the amygdala also, which is the emotion center, is also distorted in a bit. So for all you know, you realize that the person is not able to behave like he or she is supposed to behave. And then dopamine, which is supposed, the neurotransmitter that is supposed to keep you excited, is also impaired because excess cortisol reduce the function of dopamine. So you are not motivated to do anything. So you realize that some of the symptoms of burnout is that a person is emotionally exhausted. The person does not have any initiative in the person. You see your job as a chore. It's like, I don't have any energy left in me to work. And this
right.
is the reason. These are the mechanisms in place to put a person in this situation. So it's not like it's not a nice place to be, right? And I don't know, but when I was coming, I was just thinking about it. Those of us in the hospital, especially in the psychology unit, we feel like these things are far away from us because we are not in the business. We are not meeting plenty targets like other people, getting sign-ups and all those things. But funny enough, it gets there too. It gets there very quickly. So you realize that today I don't want to go to work. I don't feel like going to. You want to go to work, but you get to work and I don't think my body is ready for work and all those things. Yeah. So that is burnout creeping in. So you need to put yourself in check. There's some interventions you can do to take the burnout away, but that is what burnout does. Now, another thing that happens with burnout in the work setting is that we know the business world is structured. We have the top, the leaders, and then we have the subordinates, so employers and employees. Now, both of them can be burnt out, but sometimes we feel like it's just the workers that get burnt out or the employees that get burnt out. The leaders can also get burnt out. So if a leader is burnt out, his focus is going to be towards it. It's not going to be perfect. So there is this workplace toxicity that would exist now. He comes because he's not in the right mood. He just comes, says anything and dumps it on the workers. They also take it and then they are not in the right place. So there is this workplace toxicity that exists.
Right.
There's also the other side of it that looks at overworking. So I have to meet a target. I don't think I am meeting the target. I don't want to work, but I still need to meet a target. So the person begins to overwork. So the workload begins to increase and so on and so forth. Then eventually there's a breakdown where the person will have to now go for a sick leave or something like that. So it is a problem with the pressures that comes with. Pressure brings burnout. And when burnout is not checked, it would reduce productivity a lot. Yeah. So I think
so what are the things that people? I wanted you to go more on the early signs so that people can get to know that I'm getting there. So if you can just take us through that, some of the early signs.
So early signs of burnout would include physical symptoms. So we have headaches, we have micromanaging, we have withdrawal. So when you realize the way you were doing things before, see the motivation and the momentum you had for work is reducing, then you should be asking yourself, am I nearing burnout? There is also work patterns.
Can it be day after day? So for instance, today you are high on energy, ready to work, and tomorrow it goes, and then the next day you have. Can it be like that, or it just creeps in gradually, and then I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So when we are looking at the fluctuation phase, you can see maybe today there was a lot of work, so I got exhausted, and so I rested, and I maybe over-rested. I came back, I didn't meet that energy that I bring to work because of the previous day. That is quite different.
Okay.
When you enter burnout, it is gradual. There's a gradual going down of your energy. So if you used to work at maybe 70%, you realize there's a 60, there's a 50, there's a 40, and there is no energy at all. So it goes down gradually. That would be the
But it's not like a battery that you can know that you have 90%. So how do you tell it?
Right. So these are some of the things we are looking at. So there is a cognitive strain where you have difficulty concentrating. There is memory lapses. And then there is taking longer to process information. So that is also something you should pay attention to. What is your reaction time towards the same thing you've been doing all this while? If you used to run and complete tasks in maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour, and you are doing the same thing and it's taking longer, then there is a problem. There is a big problem. So you should also be considering burnout in that situation. There is what we call the emotional red flags. So that is persistent feelings of detachment. There is loss of enthusiasm or something that previously excited you. So in the same job that you're always happy to go, it gets to a point you're like, I don't want to do this again. This is too draining. This is too hard for me. Like this week, I don't think I can do this again.
Right.
It's the same thing you've been doing all this while, but you don't want to do it. Coupled with the memory lapses, coupled with the other headaches and all those Then there's drop in performance and all those things. So these are some keys to look at when you are looking into the burnout literature. You want to see that, well, I used to enjoy doing this. I'm no longer enjoying it again. And then my performance is dwindling when it should be going up in that same situation. Okay, so all these things, and then the headaches, the body pains, and so on and so forth would also come and make the matters even worse. So these are some of there's irritability as well. As a with war, like you are just angry, and then it also ties into the burnout stuff. Yeah.
So what are the tools or strategies individuals can use to manage that particular pressure of expectations while still aiming very high?
Okay, so one thing that is encouraged is mindfulness. Okay, mindfulness simply put will be meditation. So as I explained earlier, when you have chronic stress, there is so much cortisol in your system. Now, when you are meditating, meditation is just taking time to reflect, ponder. If you are religious, you are just having this religious practice, you are connecting to your object of worship. So Christians would meditate by praying, reading the word of God, and so on and so forth. What this does to you unknowingly is that it interrupts your cortisol levels. So like we established that when you are in chronic stress, cortisol is spread all over your body. Cortisol is in the system to get you to work. So when you take time to meditate, what it does for you is that you are thinking about something extremely different, something extremely new, probably God. What is God saying today? I want to connect to God. Oh, this word of God is sweet, and how does it apply to me? So it's like you've taken yourself in a mental leave. Now, what this does to you when you consistently meditate is it begins to rewire your brain and teach your brain another path. So as the other path is forming, the cortisol levels are also dropping because you are no longer in that state of stress.
Right.
You are getting a distraction. And because you are distracting yourself, your cortisol levels will drop significantly. The other thing is social support. You need people around you can talk to in case of burnout. When you are getting burnt out at work, you need to have somebody you can talk to. Go and tell the person, you know what, today, nowadays, I don't know what is happening to me, but this and this and this is what is happening. And you can just have a nice laugh. You can just have a good food, a good meal.
Right.
Just have people around you to keep you going. Now, people downplay the essence of a good laugh and a good meal. When you eat well and you are happy, dopamine is triggered. When you're able to when you laugh, you get a good laugh in a very stressful day, dopamine will be produced. Now, when you're in chronic stress, like I stated earlier, your dopamine levels are quite low, and they are not able to be produced like they used to. So having this moment, this burst of laughter would bring that thing back. So the dopamine pathway of your brain is going to be reactivated. So when you're doing this thing constantly, it helps. So in my personal experience, I was telling my old woman at home the other day that sometimes when I come home, I want to be a kid. I want to have fun. I just want to play game and shout and do everything I want to do. Why? Because I go to the office, I go to the clinic, I hear cases, I see cases. And if you want to go back,
they come and dump,
and now you have to go and process everything. So when you go and listen to everything, or you go and enter this work atmosphere, and you come back and you want to be serious, you may crash.
Okay.
So when I come back, I just want to laugh, I want to jump, I want to do everything I want to do. By so doing, my dopamine is still where it is supposed to be.
Right.
And then I'm able to balance and manage the emotions. Another thing we can do is time and energy boundaries. You need to set some times and say, you know what, after this time, I am not doing anything work related. So I'm taking my body on a leave. So if I work from 8 to 4, from between 8 to 4, I'll do all the work I can do. After 8 to 4, I'm done with work. So that I can take myself, every load that has been dumped on me, I can just go recycle it and get myself back. So that is also another important managing strategy that can be used to combat burnout in the workplace.
Okay, let me come to you, Sebastian. But just before that, if you just tune in, this is Business Breakfast on Z 101.9 FM. And this morning, we're having a conversation on the pressure to succeed. I mean, just dealing with the expectations in business and also in society. I would love to hear from you. Please send me a WhatsApp on 1019 0544321019. You can as well call me on 030395661 030395661. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and also on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Drop a comment and I'll read them for you. Sebastian, let me come to you now. Are you still with us?
Yes.
All right, great.
I'm still with you.
Great. Okay, so I want us to look at some healthy responses to societal expectations in the line of business and all of that. What kinds of tools or strategies can individuals use to manage the pressure of expectations while still aiming high? I was asking Sebastian that, but I think he spoke more on the burnout. So you touch on that for me.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so as business leaders, I believe there's a lot of weight on us. People think that you as a business person, a leader for the company, you know everything, you can do everything. One of the things that have really helped me in business, even in consultation, is that when people come to me, I let them know that although yes, you're coming to me as a consultant, but I don't have all the answers. I believe that the reason why people find it hard, business leaders find it hard to manage some of these pressure and the rest is because they try to become an answer to everything, especially in the marketplace. As a business person, first of all, you must know that you don't know everything, you don't have it all, and therefore you must also seek help. So when there is a lot of pressure on you as a business leader, one of the tools that will really help you is to uh, join a community of people who can support you. They can support you to think there is a problem that you are trying to solve in the business. You get people who can advise you. Every business leader must get other business leaders they consult with. I believe that when we do that, it will really help us to be able to manage the stress, the pressure that comes in. And then also internal pressure coming from when you as a business leader or as an entrepreneur, especially as startups, because I'm a startup. I have a startup. I've interacted with so many startups. One problem you see as a startup is you may find yourself behind everything. You are the CEO, you are the HR, you are the secretary, you are the social media handler, you are the PR, etc. And this is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And society is also expecting you to also succeed, to also showcase that you are also there. So what can help you is that you need to put measures in place to have a very good team. Sometimes it can even have just about two or three people who are playing volunteering role to support you and to help you. You just manage that teamwork very well. Effective teamwork will help you as a business person to be able to manage external pressure and even internal pressure. External pressure in what you'll be able to meet up with your deliverables. You'll be able to, the targets that you have set for yourself as a business, you'll be able to manage it efficiently and effectively. Now, let's talk about other ways that we manage. My brother Stan made a very wonderful exposition, and I was so glad that he mentioned the aspect of the God factor. Uh, yes, we are in the marketplace, we are in business, of course. But listen, the God factor is so much important, my brother. It is very important. Why do I say that? Because you must choose God first. You must establish a daily time with God through the Bible. I mean, reading the Bible and prayer. And I'm using myself as an example. You see, I remember that I lost my father 10 years ago. And it was serious. And my father was the breadwinner of the house. So you can imagine. And I'm the firstborn of four children. So you can imagine. So single, my mother and myself, and then my siblings. If I tell you that it was easy, I would have lied to you. And because I'm the firstborn, so many people are expecting me. There is societal pressure. Aberanteɛ yi papa awu na yɛrehwɛ sɛ ne papa wuyɛ no akyire asɛm bɛyɛ den. In the absence of his father, how is he going to manage things? brother, it wasn't easy. But I can confidently tell you that when my father died and I knew that we had no money in the bank account, we had no business to fall on, we have nothing in our hands. One thing that helped me was that I remember, and I still remember this prayer that I said, God, I don't have a father and I don't have any helper anywhere. But Lord, you are, I take you as my father. Be my father. Help me and support me. And there is one scripture in the Bible that really helped me. Joseph, the story of Joseph. And I feel that my life story is a clear picture of Joseph's story
Right.
because Joseph is coming from he's coming from DB. He's DB. Now he's moved from his father's land into a strange land. He has nothing, nobody. But look at how, because God was with Joseph, Joseph now became a good steward in Potiphar's house
Right.
and even became a prime minister, more like a president in a different nation. So imagine that you as a business person or you as a worker, you are going through so many pressure. You check your background, you check sales, you check marketing, you check the revenue or the income you are generating, and it is nothing to write home about. But then you are reading the Bible and you find out that there is a scripture that tells you that the Lord was with Joseph and he became a successful person. My brother, this is inspiration. This is motivation that can carry you through in the
Wow.
business sector. You know, sometimes as business people, you can find yourself in a position where all your products are underperforming, all your ideas you have run short of ideas, you've run short of innovation, but then there is just one business idea, just one little idea that will come into your mind and you may not believe in it, but then you read probably maybe a scripture about the widow who had a little jar of oil, and you read it in the Bible, and you saw that if I have something very little, it can still multiply and become something big for me. This would be a great inspiration and motivation. So the God
Right.
factor and prayer is very, very important. You
Yeah.
know,
I think.
coming, before this show, I thought about something. I asked myself that let's say that hypothetically God didn't exist, but when I wake up in the morning and I realize that I am talking to myself, knowing that someone is hearing me, it makes me feel better. That is enough to measure pressure and then stress. So now
Wow.
let's talk about having a positive mindset. It helps having a broader perspective of things. Um, don't be intimidated by the success of people, but rather be inspired by it. Because mostly we see the success of others and it gives us pressure, it intimidates us. But what if the success of people, instead of becoming a negative pressure to you, it serves as an inspiration, a motivation for you to set up higher and personal goals for yourself? Yeah.
Wow. Very, very great stuff there. And I mean, the God factor thing comes back to what you were talking about. Yeah, the meditation and mindfulness and all of those things, right? Okay, let's try and wrap up. Our time is fast spent. So, Stan, tell us, what can businesses and organizations do to create a healthier culture that protects the mental health of their employees?
So they can start by demystifying mental health. So there is this stigma and prejudice, especially in workplaces. People feel like, especially leaders, we feel like if I come and I talk about my mental health struggles, then it makes me a weaker person. That is not true. That is not true. That narrative needs to be changed. And I'm glad leaders of various corporations, Microsoft, to name a few, are moving away from that notion. Yeah, they are moving away from that notion. There's also recognition and growth. We need to recognize the growth. We need to be intentional about the growth of our employees. Okay, so we look into them critically, and not just what they are giving us as output. We should also invest in their emotional and psychological growth as well as people. So companies should have that at the back
How
of their
can they
mind.
do that?
So they can do that by having sessions on doing assessments, assessing growth, psychological assessments, screenings, and all those things. Just know that they are also developing their stress levels, their anxiety and depression levels are down, and where they are enjoying the work they do. So it's just job satisfaction skills, inventories are there, and then the screening tools are also there. So as you check their level of anxiety, stress, and depression, you're also appraising the evaluation of their jobs as well. And in the long run, it's going to help them a lot.
Sure.
There is something that has come up, that is mental health resources. One of such is having mental health days. And this may be difficult for Ghana for now, but I think in the future, corporations need to look into this. Somebody may ask, what is a mental health day? The way we can call in sick to work and say, you know what, I have a stomach upset, I have a headache, I have a bad migraine, and so on and so forth. We should also normalize, I feel I am burnt out, and so I can't work today. I feel I am very anxious.
But people will take advantage of that, you know.
Well. With the right intervention, I think it will thrive.
Right.
But that is also very important. Having mental health days where we can say, you know what, today I feel very drained. Today I feel very stressed. So if this is not done, we will just normalize my stomach hurts, I have a migraine, and so on and so forth. So that is also something we can look at.
Right.
Then have flexible work policies. I think some countries are doing it. They have reduced the work week from 5 days to 4 days. And this is something one of my colleagues has been advocating for. And I don't know how soon Ghana is going to get into that umbrella, but when you're able to do a 4 days schedule, that extra day can go into maybe a mental health day, or maybe a day that you can cool down from all these things, and it greatly improves burnout. Okay. Then the last thing I wanted to add was I think it's fine. I think it's gone. It's gone. So when it comes back, I'll just add it briefly. Yeah. Right. So these are some of the things that
that we can do. Yeah. All right. So what exactly is the role of therapy, mentorship, and peer support in helping professionals navigate these pressures that we've been talking about from the beginning?
So I'll start with something Elon Musk said, especially for startups. He says when you're starting a business, it's like you are looking into an abyss and chewing on glass. So you're chewing on glass and staring into an abyss. So you're saying that it's a painful walk you go alone, and the expectation is very deep. You don't know what you're anticipating in the end. So this will mean with mentorship is going to help you at least hold your hand in the abyss, using Elon's example. So you don't know where you are going, you don't know what to expect. But a mentor can be somebody who has journeyed that path and knows where he is going. So that is going to help you hold your hands in that place. So when you're chewing the glass and everything, and it's a painful experience, at least the mentor would straighten your path. So mentorship is very key. And if you have somebody you look up to, and you know that when I go to this person in my time of need, the person is going to help me, it greatly distresses you. It reduces a lot of stress from you. Then therapy will come in when you are burnt out. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to. So if your peer network is not as strong as it should, or you don't have at all, they need to go see a professional and have a conversation with a professional concerning your job. For all you know, you may have formed some misconceptions or cognitive distortions that is keeping you in that state, and that's precipitating your burnout as well. So when you go see a therapist, they're able to realign your thinking. They're able to show you the distortions, and when the distortions are cleared, you realize that you go back to your normal functioning. So mentorship is very key, and then the therapy is also very, very necessary. Important. If you feel like you are burnt out and you don't have any of the things we have discussed, of course, a professional will always be available to take you through and take you from that situation. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, we have to go now, and so I'll take your final words. If there's anything, any myth about success you'd like to debunk for our audience today, what would it be? So let me go to Sebastian, and I come to you. Stand there, we wrap up. Sebastian.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Ni. So I would say that it's possible. It's possible for every person listening to us right now. It's possible for everyone to succeed, and then everybody must also know that we all deserve to succeed, and in fact, we are supposed to succeed no matter the cost. We just have to desire to be successful. We shouldn't allow the expectations of people as far as success is concerned to exceed our personal desire. an expectation to be successful, because sometimes you realize that people expect us to even be more successful than we expect ourselves to be successful. So we should look at that very well. And if we are struggling with any pressure, mental issues, and all those things, and you're very to see a therapist or to find a professional counselor to speak to. You know, sometimes we all need counseling one way or the other. This year, I went through. I think I went through some episode for like 6 months, and what really helped me was that I got help from professionals, counselors, and people who were out there in the industry. Asking people for advice or for help is not a sign of weakness, it's rather a show of strength,
Strength, right?
because it takes real strength to be vulnerable enough for people to help. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Sebastian. Really, really grateful. Let me come to you, Stan, finally.
Okay. So I would say that contextualize your success. Redefine what success means to you. So when the pressures are looming, have a conversation with yourself. Tell yourself what success means to you and the path you want to tread towards your success. When that happens, no pressure would be able to overcome you. So I think my last word would be contextualize and redefine what success means to you, and it's going to help you a lot and your mental health. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Really, really grateful, Stan, for coming, and also Sebastian for joining us over the phone lines. Really, really grateful. Yeah, it's been a great conversation, and that's how we wrap up today on the Business Breakfast on Z. From this conversation, one thing is certain, that let's define your own success. Basically, just define your own success. Don't look at somebody. Don't compare yourself. If somebody is doing well, it doesn't mean you are failing. Yes, you are also on your own journey, and that's a very important thing we all need to take in note of. All right, so we're back again on Monday for more conversations, but until then, please do well to take very good care of yourself and also protect your own mental health.